Well, hey there, everyone, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 10 News meteorologist Jennifer Lambers with an update on your forecast and just what we're tracking out there at this time. And we were seeing some of those showers move through the Gulf Coast earlier, and now what we're starting to see is much more of that clearing. So things, they're really starting to improve out there. They're looking a lot better. We just have to get through the next few hours when the majority of this rain will continue just to track through and begin to push further out of here. Now, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you're doing so far for this afternoon, as we are just starting to see some of those improvements out there. My computer just taking a little bit of its time here to start off for today. It knows that what we're starting to see is some of those better conditions. But let's go ahead and dive right in and just talk about what we're tracking out there. So really just taking a look at satellite and radar. Here's what we're seeing is that cold front is beginning to push out of here. What's left behind is all of that sunshine just across the Midwest. It's just the southeast that's still experiencing some of that cloud cover and just some of those rain showers. Now looking in a little bit closer, again, it's a little laggy here to begin, but what we're seeing is just the majority of that rain right along the Florida Panhandle. Still just some of those spotty showers for our inland areas. Tracking some of that right now, the majority of that falling just closer towards Jackson and down towards Washington County. So a few just isolated showers right near Chatham, Seaboard, Vinegar Bend, and down towards Wally and Leakesville. Looking closer towards Mobile, Baldwin counties, it's pretty quiet out there. Still just experiencing some of that cloud cover. It's gray and it's gloomy. And then down at our local beaches, really the Florida Panhandle, the only one still just tracking some of those showers, isolated in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze, along with Garcon Point. Navarre just seeing some of that rain. But look at Windhaven Beach and Fort Walton Beach. Destin, still some heavy rain, especially closer towards Niceville. But we're only going to start to see some of those improvements later on in the afternoon. So the good news, in case you're heading to get the kids anytime soon, except for those folks in Destin and Niceville, you're going to be seeing much better conditions. Now look at the estimated rainfall just through radar. So the blue coloration, that's going to be closer towards 1 inch of rain. That purple coloration will be about 1.5 inches, getting closer towards that 2.5 inch range. And this is exactly what we were talking about the potential yesterday, is that the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, was highlighting central to southern Mobile, Baldwin counties, and even on our GFS estimated rainfall, what we're tracking was the potential for that 3 to 4 inches. So this is going to be Mobile County. We can look in at some of these estimates. So closer towards Magnolia Grove, 3 inches. We'll check in near Saraland. That one is showing 2.5 inches. And then let's check in just between Grand Bay and Dawes. We can start to see some of those brighter colors. Look at that, 4.5 inches of rainfall just in the past 24 hours. Now also we were seeing a lot of that closer towards the Florida Panhandle, southern Baldwin County. So we'll check in closer towards Foley, Gulf Shores, Pensacola, and also Navarre. So you can start to see that 2.5, that 2.8, that 2.9, quite a bit of rain. And then as we look towards Milton, there you go, Milton also coming in at 3 inches of rainfall. So let me know where you're watching from. If you have any of those outdoor weather stations, those rain gauges out there, let us know what their rainfall amount estimates were showing too. Here's a look at our futurecast as we time things out. So it's very similar to that picture that we were seeing out there. The majority of that rain has pushed out of here. It's closer towards Dothan, Panama City, extending into Georgia now. And what we're seeing is just isolated showers in the wake of it. So it's still going to be gray and gloomy out there, experiencing some of that cloud cover. Isolated showers later on for this evening. So we're not quite turning completely quiet. You'll still see some sprinkles moving through, just some light rain. And it's still going to be soggy out there. So the sports practices, the games, they're not looking the best because of that rain coverage that we saw earlier. It's still soggy on all of those sports fields, and we won't start to see any of those clear skies until we get further along into the overnight hours. Here's a live view over downtown Mobile. As I mentioned, it's gray, it's gloomy out there. It's not the prettiest look, even though we are beginning to dry out. It's still soggy on the roadways. So especially those folks that if you drive a silver or white vehicle and you're heading out on the roadways anytime soon, just make sure that you're still driving with your headlights on, that way you're visible to other drivers. Once we start to kick up some of that moisture, then the visibility begins to deteriorate and it's hard to see you out there. Now, the temperatures over the next few days, that afternoon is spelled incorrectly, but over the next few days, those temperatures will begin to fall. So closer towards Thursday and Friday, we're going to be dipping down to the lower 60s, well below average for this time of year. And then also I'm looking ahead. Now, this is going to be the week of Thanksgiving, so next week. So this is going to be that 6 to 10 day outlook from the CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, and they're calling for us to be warmer than normal. Now, what we're looking at with that, it's going to be those daytime highs in the mid 70s. So we will still be above average. Typically we should be upper 60s, maybe a few lower 70s out there. So still warmer heading into next week, but we won't be in the 80s. We will be in the mid 70s. And looking ahead to Thanksgiving, we could possibly be in the 60s by that point. However, there's a trade-off. And is that right now what we're starting to see is just the potential for some isolated showers out there on Thanksgiving Day. And so looking ahead, if you normally eat outdoors for your Thanksgiving lunch, dinner, have a backup plan just in case. Now, right now it's looking to be isolated to scattered with those rain chances, but they could go up or they could go down as we do get a much better idea as we get closer. But the main takeaway right now, there is rain chances on the day for Thanksgiving Thursday. We hope to drop those off, but as always, just make sure you have a backup plan just in case, and that'll continue into the weekend too. But we'll keep a close eye on your forecast. I'm going to keep you updated coming up on Fox 10 Live beginning at 3 p.m. And Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith will keep you updated on Fox 10 News at 4 and 5 o'clock later on for this evening. The good news, we're getting all that rain out of here, and in the wake we will have the cold air pushing in. It's just going to be a little delayed. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's really going to be by the time we get closer towards Thursday and Friday. And so waking up tomorrow morning, temperatures will be beginning in the 50s, but then waking up Thursday morning will once again be back in the 40s. So those coats, the jackets still be needed. And hey, it's going to be feeling cooler in the afternoon, so sweaters are a possibility out there. We'll keep you updated on your forecast. Again, have a wonderful Tuesday, everyone.